Hi, I'm Zoe, and I'm 16 years old. Have you ever felt like an outcast in society? When you are shunned and even afraid of what would you do if you were bullied and laughed at because of your appearance? Watch this video to the end, and you will learn how to live with an ugly face. You rarely think about the fact that appearance can affect your life so much, especially when you like your own. Every day, I received compliments, and all the friends of my parents were touched by seeing me and cherished my beauty. After all, my mother is a cosmetologist, and my father is a plastic surgeon. And of course, people who create beauty had the most beautiful child. I was actively involved in cheerleading, was one of the most popular girls in school, and even ran for school president. I had a handsome boyfriend, David. Almost all the girls wanted to be me, and I enjoyed it. My life was just a fairy tale that ended after that day. I was driving to school with my boyfriend. We had fun chatting and not really watching the road. I never used a seatbelt because I thought that nothing bad would happen to me. But suddenly, a car flew out at us, and David lost control of his car. Suddenly, I felt a huge force that threw us to the side of the road. I felt the shards of glass bite into my face, and it felt numb. Have you ever been in an accident? Then you understand that I was in a state of shock at the time, so I don't remember much. My face was healing for a month, and I had to walk around with my head completely bandaged. I felt a daily cutting pain. Every day was unbearable. I thought it was the worst thing that could have happened to me in all the time, until my bandages were removed. For the first time since the accident, I went to the mirror to look at myself and felt a shock. The scars were so deep that they left terrible marks on my face, as if someone had just slashed me with a knife and left me like this. Because the skin was covered with scars, its color no longer perfectly even, but resembled burns, and the whole picture was completed by my no longer perfect nose with a hump, which could only be hidden by a burqa. Was it really me? No. I was looking at a completely different person. Now I looked like a real freak from a horror movie. The whole face was horribly scarred and marked. The eyebrows were disfigured and left in shreds, and the eyes were full of fright. It wasn't me anymore. There was no trace of the last beauty left. I came home and just locked myself in my room. I didn't go out for several days, and I didn't want to eat or drink. I broke all the mirrors in my room because I just couldn't look at myself. Tears stung my face because of recent wounds. I felt terrible. My sweet and beautiful face turned into this, and now I had to live with it. My parents tried to support me. I was scheduled for a hospital checkup in a week to see if I had any complications, so we tried to talk less about it. One evening, I overheard my dad talking on the phone with a doctor. He was talking about me. I couldn't stand it. I ran up to ask if there was anything I could do with my ugly face. My father promised me that he would do everything possible to get me back to normal. My dad knew a surgeon who could help me. I began to believe that I would be able to look at my reflection in the mirror again. But on my checkup, my hopes were dashed. The doctor said that even the smallest surgical interventions should not be performed now. Everything inside me collapsed. The sick day was almost over, and I had to go to school soon, which was my worst nightmare. I had already seen school children shy away from me, get scared, and call me names. No one saw me on sick day except my parents, but thousands of eyes would see me at school. When day X arrived, I wanted the ground to swallow me up just so that no one would notice me. As soon as I opened the school door, I realized that I was no one here anymore. My popularity was gone. David didn't even talk to me. And all my friends seemed to support me, but behind my back they laughed and came up with the offensive nickname, Freddie. I huddled in the corner between the lockers and sobbed there. But one girl I used to bully came up to me and supported me. It was unexpected, so I just pushed her away and ran away. Each new day was even harder. I tried to apply a ton of makeup, but it didn't save my face. and the patches didn't help either. So I started covering my face with my hair, pushing it forward, putting on my hood, and slouching. But it didn't get any better. Everyone was laughing at me and calling me names. But that girl, she supported me, and over time, we started communicating. Her name was Sally. I didn't understand why she was doing this, but thanks to her, I began to smile more often. After a month, I had gradually gained confidence and began to pay less attention to the taunts from the outside. Did they ever laugh at you at school? Then you know exactly how I felt. I tried to continue to live my life, and it seemed like everyone around me had already got used to my appearance. It was easier for me. And then, everything was going downhill again. I was kicked out of the cheerleading team, told that my face scared people away. The boys on the football team refused to support me. It was a real stab in the back. I had been doing this for more than 2 years, and then I got kicked out. I was crushed. On the same day, I was banned from running for president of the school. As soon as I came to terms with the consequences of the accident and the ugly situation at school, I was broken again. I felt the injustice, but I couldn't do anything about it. I no longer tried to do anything to protect myself, as I did not feel the support of others. It became even harder for me to open up and trust people, so I became depressed. I started skipping school and closing myself in my room more and more often. And one of those days, someone knocked on my door. I opened it and saw a courier with a package, signed it, and started unpacking it. I didn't believe what I saw. It was a topical ointment against such damage on the face as mine. I was delighted and immediately smeared it all over my face. I thought the cream would definitely help me. When my dad arrived, I started to hug him and was happy, but he immediately explained that the ointment was experimental, and there were no guarantees for the result. My hopes were dashed again. Was I just going to be ugly forever? I closed the door, went to the mirror, and, choking with tears and resentment, grabbed a piece of scissors and hysterically cut my hair in the bathroom. I decided that if my face always remained like this, at least the image would match. In the room, I found a black and red striped sweatshirt, found black pants and a hat, trying to look like the one whose nickname I was given. This time, I was ready to go to school. When I opened the school door, time seemed to stop in the corridor. Everyone was looking at me. Even though my new image looked terrible, that wasn't the reason. When I got closer to the election counters, I found my own, and behind it stood Sally, who was shouting slogans for me. I thought everyone was laughing at me again and abruptly started ripping flyers off the walls and throwing them in the trash. Sally tried to stop me, but I pushed her away and ran away crying. All eyes were on me. Sally caught up with me and began to calm me down. She explained everything to me. It turned out that all this time, she was negotiating with the principal to allow me to participate in the elections, and he was outraged that I was forbidden to do so. The principal was shocked that I was treated this way, so everyone who voted for my removal was banned from participating in the election. I didn't believe it was real. They really supported me. 2 days ago, the election ended, and thanks to my knowledge and Sally's efforts, I was elected president. For a long time, I was really happy. Performing in front of large crowds helped me reduce my appearance. I don't know what will happen next, but I was happy to participate, and I think I started to feel the ground under my feet again. I try not to think about the accident and try to move on. Did you ever have any problems with your appearance? If so, write your story in the comments, put likes, subscribe to the channel, and have a nice day.